This is an Audi RSQ8 and here's why it's worth $249,000. Okay, let's start with the exterior of this car. So this and the Lamborghini Urus is pretty much the same car, except for the major differentiation, which is its design. While the Lambo being a bit bold and loud with its design, this has gone for a more stealthy look. The best way I can basically explain that is the Lambo's like, hey, look at me, I'm a Lambo. But this is like, hey, slow down, I'm just faster than you and I'm better than you. So the grille, it is absolutely massive, and also the side vents, but it looks amazing, and it is functional because it helps push air into the engine. And the favorite bit of the car is its lights. So if you unlock the car, it has a very cool sequence, and voila, it just looks amazing. Okay, now here at the side, the most noticeable feature are these rims. They are 23 inches, with manufacturers pushing for larger wheels. Audi definitely made a bold statement with this. And here at the back, it is slanted here, and it does take away from the boot space, but it still has a capacity of 605 liters, and do not worry, it will still fit your golf bags. Okay, controversial opinion. I think this rear end looks way better than the Lamborghini Urus. And let's talk about the Kim Kardashianness of this car, which is beauty enhancers. You get a fake vent here, and also these exhaust tips are fake, because if you look properly you can see the actual vents. But remember how I said there's a sequence light at the front, but at night the rear just looks so much better because there's a better sequence thanks to this light bar. Let's talk about the interior of this car. So the most noticeable feature is that it gets a black interior with red stitching. Even on the seat belts it is very apparent, and it makes the interior design look quite fabulous. And the seats are electronically adjustable. You get heated, cooled and massaging seats because this car has the sensory package. And it also means that the steering wheel, it doesn't come with leather, it comes with Alcantara thanks to the sensory package. And one major noticeable feature is this AC vent right here. It is continuous, but AC doesn't, or air doesn't come through all of the vents. It just comes through the normal vents as a normal car. And another noticeable feature is the RS badging. So you get RS badging on the steering wheel, on the seats, and also on the door sills, and it looks quite amazing. So there's enough reminders here to let you know that this is a performance SUV and not just a normal one. It gets matte carbon fiber here on the center console and also on the door frame, and it looks quite amazing. Overall, the interior design of this RSQ8 looks just phenomenal. Here at the back you get heated seats, and you also get a cup holder if you basically just drag this down, and voila, you get a cup holder. And I do have to mention that there's adequate foot space and head space as well, so traveling at the rear is quite comfortable. And you do get your AC controls over here, and a very cool feature, you get electronic sunshades which you can lower and raise, well, electronically. And this is a feature which was put in here to cause chaos. If you are using this as a family car, you can basically control both the windows on, basically at the back you can control your own window and you can control the other passenger's window. And if you have kids who are always fighting, this is just going to cause chaos, so lock the windows at the front. Okay, so the most important bit of the car, its engine. This is a twin turbo V8 which produces 591 horsepower and 800 newton meters of torque, and this is basically the same engine that is in the Lamborghini Urus, but the Lamborghini produces 50 more pound-feet of torque and 50 more horsepower, but this is $200,000 cheaper than the Lamborghini Urus. And this is also the same engine that's used throughout the Volkswagen group, which means the Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT and the Bentley Bentayga has the same engine as well. And this car has an 8-speed gearbox which drives all 4 wheels via the quad all-wheel drive system. That means the rear wheels of this car get more power than the front wheels. It's a split of 60-40, but as we all know, the quattro system is just pure perfection. So this car is built on the same platform as the Lamborghini Urus, but the Lamborghini does get a bit more power. This car is actually faster at the Nürburgring compared to the Lamborghini Urus, and this is $200,000 cheaper. 0 to 60 time 3.6 seconds, and if you do get the carbon ceramic brakes, you have a 70 to 0 stopping within 46 meters. Now this car isn't optioned with the carbon ceramics, but these brakes are just as good. This also gets 10 piston calipers, which are absolutely massive, and you get 420mm disc at the front and 370mm disc at the rear. And once again, it's massive, absolutely massive. Okay, so let's talk about the tech within this car. This is the very first screen that we want to start with. So this is where all of your climate control settings are. You can increase and decrease your temperature by clicking on the positive and negative button, or you can drag it to the side and basically adjust it in a much smoother way, and this is useful especially when driving. Now the second screen, this is where all of your vehicle settings are. You get parking aid and basically a bunch of gimmicks, but my favorite one is the RS monitor. So within the RS monitor you can measure your oil temperatures, your G meter, which tells you how much of a G you are. I'm just kidding, it just tells you the maximum G force achieved, your tire pressure loss indicator, and your tilt angle display. Now this is a particularly cool touch for this car. And moving on to the instrumental cluster, we are currently in RS mode, so if you click this RS button, it basically changes your mode, and right now we're in the normal settings. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on RS and the instrumental cluster changes, and this also means, let me just show you, we are in normal mode. Your heads up display, that's the normal mode, that's the RS mode. That is a pretty cool touch. Now being on RS mode, it doesn't just change your instrumental cluster, it also firms up the suspension, and throttle response basically increases. So when you click on RS, it just goes into a much sportier version. Now the view button, so the second you click the view button, it changes your instrumental cluster. You can basically toggle from different menus, and if you have connected Android Auto or Apple CarPlay onto this, you can get your Google Maps onto this screen, which makes driving a much safer thing. Here's another cool tech feature of this car. So if you go to navigation and basically you want to search somewhere to go, you can basically use the second screen as a touchpad. So you can just type in anything you want to and it's gonna pick up. That's just a very cool touch, and it also gets adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, which is all controlled by this dial over here. So overall, tech wise, I've just gone to probably about 10% of what this car can do, but still it is loaded with tech, and this is an amazing car. So let's talk about the cool features of this car. One, this car has a sensory package, which means you get soft close doors. All you gotta do is just push it slightly and voila, soft close doors. Another cool feature about this car is the fact that when you click on car, the headlights light up, which is a pretty cool touch. And if you can see, there is a small RS badge, and for $250,000 you get a key holder which you can place your key in. So another cool feature about this car is you get adjustable foot temperature, which means your feet can be in Antarctica while your upper body is basically in Hawaii. Another cool touch of this car is the fact that you can raise and lower the car via the boot. So if you have anything heavy that you want to carry, you can just come to the boot, adjust it from here, and then place it. That's a pretty cool touch. Finally, this gets rear wheel steering, and it's activated when you're driving slowly and fast as well. So when you're driving slowly, it turns in the opposite direction as the front wheels, but when you're driving fast, it turns in the same direction as you're driving, and this helps majorly with cornering, and this is probably why this car is faster than the Lamborghini Urus. Okay, let's talk about the annoying features of this car. The very first being its top speed being limited to 250 kilometers per hour. First of all, you're buying an RS car, why don't Audi give us all of the top speed that we can achieve with this car without us having to pay extra to get that option? And the second annoying feature about this car is this car gets a red and black contrasting interior, except for the middle seat belt. It is just black compared to the red and black you get on the side. Why didn't they just put red switching on the side of this as well? That's a bit annoying. And the final annoying thing about the car is its stock limiter. So it only lets you rev up to 4,000 and it just stops there. This has a big V8, just let us listen to it. Come on, Audi. So let's go for a drive in the Audi RSQ8. So we're currently in comfort mode, and just basically starting our drive. The first thing that I do have to mention is throttle response. The second you keep your foot on the gas, it just takes off. So I'm just driving very carefully here, and we are on RS mode, so I'm just going to switch to normal mode. And I do have to say that the cabin is very quiet. It doesn't feel like a performance SUV, it just feels like a very luxurious car. And cruising along, it doesn't feel heavy. The steering is quite responsive. There is a massive blind spot by this pillar over here, but it's still it is a massive car, so the road presence is quite apparent. And we're just gonna take a corner here. And I do have to mention, this car has enough power, and we're currently going uphill, but it's handling it so easily. And currently we just jumped onto RS mode, and we're just gonna test the steering here. It gets through the corners so easily. And I do have to mention, the second you put your foot down on RS mode, the throttle is very responsive. I didn't even realize I was doing a bit over the speed limit. And we're just gonna accelerate just for a bit here. Oof. Oh my god. Once again. Oh my god. It is nothing like I've driven before. It is amazing. Throttle response is on point. It gets through the corners so easily. And the suspension, it's not firm, and it's also not too loose, so it does give you that aggressive, sporty feel. So overall, driving is pretty amazing in this car. And the next thing that we're going to test out is the gearbox. So currently we're on the second gear, shifting up, shifting up, shifting up. Pretty responsive, down, down, down. It is super quick. It's not a dual clutch system on this car, but the gearbox is quite amazing. And that's where I'm going to leave driving. It is an amazing car to drive, and it's literally the best car I've driven. Final thoughts on the Audi RSQ8. Now, this is 249,000, and this car is for sale at the moment. And I do have to mention that this car looks absolutely fantastic, and it drives amazing. For an SUV, it literally handles like a supercar, and I'm all for it. So if I had the money, $249,000, drive away, would I buy this car? And the answer is yes. Why? It's Lamborghini Urus performance for $200,000 cheaper than the Lamborghini Urus, and it beats all of its competitors such as the BMW X5M, the Mercedes GLE. But this car, it's really something. Audi has outdone what it means to be a performance SUV. Looks amazing, once again, drives amazing. What would I rate this car out of 10? It would probably be a 9.5. 9.5, because I think the front end could look a bit more aggressive, but 9.5 out of 10, solid car, very low kilometers. It got 8,000 kilometers, and would I buy it if I had the money? 100%, done. It's a done deal. So thanks for watching. Enjoy, like and subscribe, boys.